You know how when your computer gets so slow, it comes to a grinding halt and you're frustrated, so you just reboot the whole thing, close all of the browsers, close all the apps that are open, and just restart. Today, let's do just that with your mind. Before you put another thing on your to-do list or create a resolution or even a goal, create a quit list and really be intentional about what you put back into your mind. Welcome to the Next Simple Step. I'm Paul Goldsmith, and I'm going to give you some suggestions of what you might add to your quit list, but it's entirely up to you what you put on the list. What is the first thing that comes to mind when I say, what is one habit or activity that you do that is counterproductive toward reaching your goals? What is the one thing, the first thing that comes to mind you ought to quit? And that's probably where you should start. I'll give you an example from the top of my quit list. I had a dream to start an app. The whole intention was to launch podcasts and content that nourished your mind, body, and soul. I called it Ethos Radio, and I put a lot of time and effort into developing the app. It was no small task. After a few months, I realized that I created something, but was there really an audience for that? Each of the individual podcasts, this one included, has an audience, but most of the people that listen, you do so on your phone. The majority of people who listen to this podcast do so on an iPhone and use the Apple Podcast app. The second most popular way of listening is on Spotify. And so very few people were consuming this podcast or the others through the app, yet it was costing me a lot of time, attention, and money every single month. And so a few weeks ago, I decided to pull the plug on the app. And it's been so freeing because I know I should have done it a lot sooner, but I was struggling with the sunk cost fallacy because put a lot of time and money and attention into something. We're more reluctant to give up. But the best advice I ever heard was, don't throw good money after bad money. Once you've decided that what you're working on is not accomplishing your goals at the present moment, it's okay to change course, to quit if it's not serving you and your purposes. Big or small, it's helpful to take time every once in a while and evaluate your daily choices. And so I'll give you 5 examples of things you might want to put on your quit list, but feel free to make your own list or modify these as they apply to your own life. Number 1. Get rid of clothes that you haven't worn, that don't fit, that you don't like very much, and just have no intention of wearing. Marie Kondo that stuff. The reason I start with clothes is because first thing in the morning when you go to your closet, you can get paralyzed by decision fatigue right out of the gate because you have all of these clothes you have to sort through to find the ones that you actually want to wear. That can be super helpful to start your day with limited choices of the things that you actually want to wear. Number 2, checking email or social media first thing upon waking up. Why would you want to paralyze your brain right after waking up with information overload? It's super helpful to start the day clarifying your own thinking about what you want to accomplish that day. Number 3, liquid calories. This is something that is super sneaky because a lot of the drinks on the Starbucks menu look and smell like coffee, but are loaded with sugar that deplete us of energy and are really counterproductive, whether it's a Starbucks drink or if you live in the South, sweet tea. There's nothing wrong with having a sweet treat from time to time, but if it's part of just your daily habit of drinking a Frappuccino or sweet tea or a Coke mindlessly, you have to really evaluate, is that helping you or sabotaging your day? And number 4 is closely related. Quit having coffee or caffeine of any kind in the afternoon. Now, the time is up to you, but the half-life of caffeine stays in your body for between 6 and 10 hours and really affects your sleep. And I know that I'm one that can drink a cup of coffee and go to sleep, but what I realized by wearing an Oura Ring and really analyzing my sleep was that with caffeine in my system, that I don't get the amount of deep sleep that it doesn't happen when my nervous system doesn't calm down because I'm too jacked on caffeine. Individual results may vary there, but if you are having caffeine late into the afternoon, it definitely is having a negative effect on your sleep. Just pre-decide what time of day you're going to stop having caffeine. Number 5, this is a big one. Quit numbing pain or anxiety. Pain is real and anxiety is real, but there's a reason it's happening. And so really digging beneath the surface to find out what's going on, to treat the root cause, is going to serve you a lot better than numbing it with food or drink or social media or whatever, mindlessly binging show after show. Find out what's going on that is causing that pain, that anxiety in the first place. And this goes back to just when you eat or drink or watch a show, do it mindfully and do it because you're hungry or thirsty or really enjoy the show. And you pre-decide before how much you're going to eat, how much you're going to drink, how much show you're going to watch. And it's just being intentional with your choices, being mindful, knowing that you're doing what you want to be doing, that you're doing the things that serve your goals. And you ultimately want to be in control of your attention. That is the most valuable and non-renewable resource you have, is your time and your attention. So I thank you for paying attention to this podcast. I hope it's been helpful. I'd love to know what makes your quit list. You can text me. The number's 559-574-3210. Thank you so much for listening to the Next Simple Step podcast. I'll talk to you next time.